Back at it again. What's up, guys? It's OPEX. Watch out for the bang, bang. I don't know. A little wild today. Got my first full night of sleep. In fact, 2 nights in a row, full nights of sleep. I guess thanks to ELDs. So let's dive into a video because we're back at it again. On the regular, we're going to be making videos. I'll have a lot more energy for you guys. I'm not going to be as busy. I'm not going to be working my 20-hour days and my 100-plus hour weeks. I'm not going to be doing that anymore. So I am going to be here to discuss a lot of things. Let's dive into something that I wanted to talk about weeks ago. Actually, around Thanksgiving, I wanted to talk about this. Now, it's not fresh in my mind now, so we're going to try to filter out unimportant things with things that are more important so we can speed through this a little bit. Because holy fuck, we're already a minute into this. It's going to be a long one. Alright. So, I want to discuss something that's been bothering me with a conclusion to something that is going to better your understanding of boys and girls. Now, I hope you guys are smart enough not to be on the wave of the confusion, stupidity, and more importantly, ignorance of multi-genders, right? So we're not going to dive into that. We're not going to dive into multi-genders other than male and female. Because, come on. And we don't have to discuss chromosomes and shit like that either. But there's a difference between boys and girls growing up. And this difference has been evolved this way for success. Watch my videos. Back in the past, I've made tons of relationship videos. Best route for long-term relationships, best way to for relationships. Sorry, I'm driving, so my speechcraft isn't the best at the moment. But there's tons of factors that play roles for boys and girls. And I also made a video on the roles in a relationship between men and women. This is back when I had hair down to almost my ass. So my suggestion is go out and watch those videos because there's a lot of gems in there. Now, you probably realize that when you're dealing with little boys, talking about 3, 4 years old, they're either one of two things. They're very shy, or they're trying to be liked in one way or another. For girls, it's very rare. Now, there are variables to this, right? You're gonna find something that does not go into the model that I'm telling you. You're gonna find it out there. It's rare, but it happens. Girls generally are more talkative, more social at a very young age. Second, they're able to talk, they want to keep talking. Boys, not as much. Much less words. Boys have an evolutionary reasoning why they are shy. Why they are trying to be liked. While girls pretty much get a free pass in terms of being liked. Every girl I know is liked. Every girl. If you're a young girl, you're liked by everyone. There's no one that says, oh, I fucking hate that 5-year-old girl. Never happens. But it's one of those things that girls can do whatever they want. And this is also evolutionary. So let's talk about in the past, tribal situations. When you're in a group of 30, 60, 100 people, you have to make, as a boy, you have to be of value to the tribe. You have to go out and learn how to hunt, learn how to do things, learn how to be valuable, learn how to earn resources, bring them back to the women and children, let alone even your fellow men if they're not up to par. You know, like the elder, whatever. So, men had a role that was specifically in tune with being liked in the tribe to avoid becoming the outcast. Women, they can bear children. They never had to evolve to be liked because they would never be outcasted unless there was specific religion involved, specific characteristics of a woman that was bad for the tribe, which is, again, very, very rare, where they're fucking the whole tribe and creating drama or whatever. I don't know. Very rare instances it does happen. But women, you're able to breed, free pass. You ever watched the movie Titanic? We'll save the women and children. If there's any other lifeboats for men, we'll save them at the end. But we don't really give a fuck about men. Women and children first. When you go hunting deer, you kill the male. You kill the doe. I mean, the buck. Kill the buck. Because in your heart of hearts, you have this empathy towards the mother and children. Right? The mother at least is going to be there to take care of its young. But the buck can go. Right? We have this built into our systems that we are liking women and children. But more importantly, girls in their development process. They're going to be liked all the way through. They can pick their boogers, flick it at you, and you're still going to like her. You know, 4-year-old, 13-year-old. These girls get a free pass. Now, before you start hating on me, which I don't give a fuck if you do, the truth will set you free. That's the reason I'm making this video. So what the boys would be developed to do is to get the resources. So they earn resources, they learn how to hunt better, they become better, and they have to play a certain part that is well done, that they have to give their all in order to bring these resources back and be successful. Or they get outcasted. So they bring the resources home, which women almost never get outcasted. That's why they have rare stories of it, because how rare it is. They would bring back the resources for the women and children to consume. So men earn resources. Women consume. It's very important to recognize this. You're going to look in your real life right now, and see how this is still applicable today. Because there's something in men, in your evolutionary process from that tribal scenario, that is still holding dear, that you want to provide resources for women. And I definitely want to discuss more about that when I finally, which I do, I'm about to have time for it, to make that video my message to men, which is going to fuck up the internet. No, it probably won't. Probably get 100 views and 5 thumbs down. Because that's the typical flow of my videos. Anyways. So, Thanksgiving. Go over to my mom's house. My sister's there with her children. I have a niece that's 9. A nephew that's 3, I think maybe 4. Young. My niece constantly, for like the last 4 years or so, 5 years, likes to climb on me because I'm taller than her, and it's like climbing a tree. It's fun for her. She doesn't care how it affects me. She doesn't care what I'm doing in the moment. If I'm in a deep conversation with my mom or whatever, she climbs on me. And she's 9 now, and she still does this shit. She likes climbing. It's fun for her. She doesn't care how annoying she is. She doesn't care, right? Because she's going to be well liked regardless. And then I looked at my little nephew, which is shy, always cheesy. You know, if you catch eyes with him, he's cute and cheesy. All right, the most adorable boy ever. But in the evolutionary process, he has to be. But I thought to myself, not thinking about what I'm telling you in this video, I thought to myself, I already got one of my sister's kids jumping on me for the last 4 or 5 years. When is my nephew going to be able to do so? When is he going to want to start jumping on me because his sissy is? Then I thought about it. He won't do that shit. He's more empathetic. He wants to be more liked because of that ancient tribal aspect. As a boy, you need to be liked. you're going to go through processes of your development that you need to find out how well liked you are, because you're going to have less to work hard about. If you're more attractive, if you're more elegant in terms of everyone liking you, if you have more friends in your tribe, if your uncles and everybody likes you. I'm not saying you have a free pass, but you have an easier ride. And then you don't have to work as hard as an adult to try to make up for it. Make up, like, for example, me. I've never been well liked in the last 10 years, right? Since I was like 21, people stopped giving a fuck about me, which is normal. So I have to work extra hard for resources in order to get the opposite sex to like me, in order to, and I'm not saying for sure, right? I can get the opposite. I can talk up a good game if I really want to. But I have to do more to work hard in life. My boss doesn't give a fuck about me, therefore I have to work harder to win him over. When a dude that is more liked, charismatic, funny, doesn't have to work as hard because the boss still wants that dude around, right? And this is nowadays. So it still applies this logic, this construct I'm telling you. In girls are well liked pretty much no matter what. So when my nephew is cheesing and smiling and then not really talking much, being shy, this is because he wants to avoid any type of annoyance to others. Because again, back in the past, he might get outcasted, might have to be killed to save resources, right? So it's a real fucking threat not to be liked. So he's not going to try to push his bounds. Again, there's a lot of variables on this, but it's rare. The variables are rare. It's more often that a boy is going to be either shy or do what it takes to be well liked, humorous, funny, someone good to be around, wants to know more about what you're dealing with. For example, if you're a grown-ass man and you're talking to a grown-ass other man, you're going to talk about grown-ass man things to try to be liked from the other person. Oh, you like fishing. Well, I don't really like fishing, but you like it, so let's talk about it. So you try to establish being liked. Women don't usually do this. They'll say things like, "Hey, how's your job?" or "What do you do for a living?" Something that benefits them. Notice this. Again, I'm going to get a lot of shit for this. I'm not sexist, but if you want to say I am by just speaking utter truth, go for it. I'll talk about variables all day long. In fact, I got to make a video specifically on variables. Oh shit. I'm going to have to go through this whole ride with sun in my eyes. Going west. Going back to my niece and nephew, love them both to death. My family, I'll fucking slaughter 1,000 people in order for them to survive. I don't know about I'll do that, but you know what I'm saying? I'll give my left arm for it. And I love both of them to death. But you can see a clear difference between the two. And this, go ahead, go look at your boys versus your girls. Boys pretty much have to be more liked, right? Because you're not going to tolerate a boy as much as you're going to tolerate a girl. It's just truth. Doesn't matter if you're the mother or father. You're going to tolerate your little girl a lot more than you're going to tolerate that boy. The boy is held to a higher standard. Now, this is natural. So if you're forcing yourself to get out of this unnatural thing, that's cool. You force yourself to think that you got to hold the girl up to the same as the boy. That's a forceful thing. You have to train your mind differently in order to make that happen. But naturally, girls are going to get that free pass. And they're going to be able to consume resources at large with doing less work. It's simple. For a man, the man wants the woman to take care of their children, be a great mother to their children, to be able to depend on the woman to take care of the children, take care of the household, make sure that things are well there, so then they go out and work their asses off in order to go above and beyond for that woman and child, which he cares deeply more than he cares for himself. Now, of course, women care more about their children more than themselves, for the most part. Again, a lot of variables. I know a lot of women that rather go out to the club and fuck and get drunk and rather do that and put their children with their parents. But men, a real fucking man with a real good woman, I'm telling you, they're going to go above and beyond. And I said this a lot in my message to women. And of course, some of the things I'm talking about in this video also applies that I'm going to factor into my message to men video, which is very important to realize how important it is for men to understand this just as much as women. So we can avoid men going their own way. So we can avoid feminism. We can avoid these things by surrendering to the truth that is reality, instead of forcing yourself to be brainwashed to believe otherwise. So, when you're a man going through life and you're looking at the differences between the upbringing of boys and girls, it's great to realize that as an inspiration for the boy, explain to him what it is that is going on with them, why they are shy, why they're doing certain things, and what to do to be successful in life. Because boys don't get this, and they're the ones who need it the most. Girls, you've seen the movie Titanic, you've seen that they save the women and children first, and men are just thrown out of the way. You kill the buck, you don't kill the doe because of feelings that are natural. These are natural feelings. Even men would rather kill men than the women and children, because we care more about women and children than anyone else. And this has been successful in our evolution, to think this way, to feel this way. Boys to be more empathetic, because the more empathetic a boy is, the better an adult and provider he will be when he has children of his own. When you take the father out of the equation, boys are more likely to be acting up because they have less to be liked about because they're the only boy. But when you put more boys in a scenario, alphas are going to rise to the top and the betas are going to have to work harder. And this is important because this puts betas at an even level field as the alphas. The alphas can kind of get a free, it's not a free ride, but an easier pass in life. They're going to get more resources just from being liked. Not as much as the women. But it's very important to realize that you can create a beta into an alpha by just having a man in the picture. A good man. Women love their children to death. Evolutionarily, if that's a word, that is always going to be the case. Because so far, we need women as well. For sure. Even more than the man. In types of need. But young girls need to realize what it is to be a great mother, a great role model, to be attracting men, and to being a better mother. To make a man happy will make a woman happier. Because men already want to give everything they have to a woman to make sure that their offspring is going to be well taken care of, well clothed, well everything, right? It's the woman's job to decorate the house and to spend the resources. So there's logical explanations from the past that is still being applied today that trumps everything else. When a man stays at home, doesn't work, collect a little bit of welfare, a little bit of resources, or the woman's out working while he's staying at home, why does this not work very often? Why is this the worst kind of relationships to ever be long term? Why? Because it doesn't hold the same model. It doesn't provide the same value. Men are specifically put into roles because that's what's best. Naturally, men want to provide. When you take that away, they become scummy pieces of shit. When women provide instead of nurture, and there's no one nurturing their kids are going to have a terrible upbringing. Because there's no nurturing going on. There's no love. And there's going to be more acting out. And then this also provides men not being able to do what they want. And what do men want? They want a great upbringing for their children. Last time I'm going to say it, there's a lot of variables, but they're rare. Women need to understand their place, men need to understand their place. You can give me shit in the comments below about this. I'm just telling you the fucking truth. Is there women out there that are better than men at some things in the marketplace, in the free market? Sure, there are women out there. Very, very, very rare. That's why men need to go into the marketplace and excel and learn what they need to do to get as much resources as possible. Because women are generally not adapted to this type of environment. And a woman who stays home, takes care of the children, is going to have a much happier life. You ever hear people say taking care of children is a full-time job? Why would you hire a nanny? I don't get it. Why would you get a man out of the equation so now you have to take care of children and get resources and consume them? It just doesn't make sense. And of course, I've talked to you about this in the past, and I keep saying this. Watch my relationship videos, watch my message to women. I'm going to get a lot of hate for this video, and hey, I think it's still very important to understand and to think about this yourself. Boys are going to do whatever it takes to be liked. Boys are going to do whatever it takes to acquire resources if set into a natural direction where their parents are already doing this. If your parents aren't doing this, you're probably not going to do this. And you want to avoid your boys growing up without a father, because they become more, they don't care as much, because they don't have to be as liked as much, especially in today's society. Women, not caring about their men, don't understand the destructive views or the destructive force that is going to happen for their young girls that are going to want to be pregnant at a young age. It's just something natural that builds up. No man around, we need men in the equation. We need to reproduce in this equation. So young girls are more apt to have a teen pregnancy instead of understanding what it's like to be daddy's princess. So there's a lot of information I'm giving you, but it's very simple. I'm going to conclude with this. You want to avoid men going their own way? You want to avoid single motherhood? You want to avoid the problems of gender equality? You need to rationalize and observe what's going on in your environment. What you think is best may not be the best you thought. The true best part of your scenario is to play your role to the fullest. Quote, boy goes up to his father. He asks his father, what do I have to do to get a good woman? His father stops him right there and says, hey, don't focus on finding a good woman. Focus on being the right man. So that's the sort of information I'm trying to give you right now. It's very important. I'm not trying to say that women are scumbags for consuming resources. I love that women consume resources because it betters the family. I love that men go out and earn their resources because that betters their family. You understand the paradigm that is perfect and beautiful. Yin and yang. It's perfect balance. But if a man has to work and a woman has to work, there's an issue. In my message to women video, I said that you shouldn't worry about going to college. You shouldn't worry about getting a job. You should worry about finding the right man. Find the good man. Men will go above and beyond. If your man's making $20,000 a year, still don't go in the workforce. Don't do it. Focus on doing your role. This will instill betterment for the man. This will instill men trying to go above and beyond and make 30 the next year, then make 40, then make 50. Then he ain't gonna stop there. He wants a fucking golden car for his wife. He's gonna go farther. He's gonna go farther. Don't worry about what he's making now. He will go above and beyond. As long as you play your role. Because your role forces that on him. So, yeah, little tidbits of information here. I definitely want this to be a conclusion video. There's nothing farther than that I wanted to get in this video anyways. Stay tuned for more content. I got plenty more on the way. Check me later. Lame as fuck.